students, welcome back to the physics class. In the previous class, we discussed about acceleration due to gravity. I hope you all understood and learned the topic well. And today we are discussing about the another content of this chapter. So let's start the chapter with a small question. A stone and a sheet of paper are dropped together. Can you say which of them will reaches the ground first? Yes, the stone reaches first. Objects like paper fall slowly. Galileo was the first person to argue that this is due to air resistance. He wasn't able to prove it then because at that time there were no facilities to create vacuum. Sir Isaac Newton could prove this later through the feather and coin experiment. So let's see what is feather and coin experiment. Here you can see a coin and a feather. Newton placed a feather and a coin in a long transparent tube with closed ends. The tube was kept vertical at first and then suddenly turned upside down. The coin reached the bottom first, followed by the feather a short while later. The experiment was repeated after removing the air inside the tube, and it was found that both the feather and the coin reached the bottom simultaneously. So from this, what do you learn? Yes, the conclusion was that the feather took more time to reach the bottom due to air resistance in the tube filled with air, and in the second tube which is evacuated, that means without air, both of them reached the bottom simultaneously. Thus, Galileo's argument was proved right. So this is the feather and coin experiment. So let's go to another question. When a stone falls, it attracts the earth just as the earth attracts the stone. But it is only the stone that falls. The earth does not rise up. Students, do you know what is the reason behind this? So let's see. From the equation F equals ma, if a body of mass m is acted upon by a force F, then acceleration equals force by mass, that is A equals F by m. So consider a stone of mass m falling down. So what is the force of attraction between the stone and the earth? So let's see what will be the attraction of the stone and the earth. Let capital M be the mass of the earth and small letter m the mass of the stone. As there is mutual attraction between them, don't they experience the same force? Yes. Therefore, acceleration of the earth, that is acceleration of the earth equals F by capital M, and acceleration of the stone equals F by small letter m. As the mass of the earth, that is capital M, is huge, when compared to that of the stone, that is small letter m, the acceleration experienced by the earth will be negligibly small, and that by the stone will be much greater. From this we can understand that the mass of the earth is huge, so the acceleration given by the earth is greater than the stone. If an object falls down due to force of gravity alone, the acceleration of the object will be uniform. So can we apply equations of motion to objects in uniform acceleration? What do you think? Yes, we can apply all the equations of motion to objects in uniform acceleration, and we already know all the three equations of motion. That is v equals u plus at, s equals ut plus half at square, and v square equals u square plus 2as. We can apply all these three equations of motion in objects having uniform acceleration. Next one, mass and weight. And we already studied about mass in our 8th standard. Okay, so today we are going to study about weight. The force with which a body of mass m is attracted by the earth towards its center is F equals g into capital M into small letter m divided by r square. We know this is the equation for finding force of gravity, where capital G is the gravitational constant, capital M mass of the earth, and small letter m mass of the object, and r radius of the earth. As we know, g into capital M by r square equals g, that is acceleration due to gravity. So this equation changes to F equals m into g, that is mass into acceleration due to gravity. Here mg indicates the weight of the body. In other words, the weight of a body is the force with which the earth attracts the body towards its center, and the unit of weight is Newton. Here you can see two devices, common balance and a spring balance. Mass is measured using common balance and spring balance is used to measure weight. So let's see what is 1 kilogram weight. 1 kilogram weight is equal to the force of attraction exerted by the earth on an object of mass 1 kilogram. And as we know, F equals mg, where F, that is the force, equals 1 kilogram weight and mass equals 1 kg. And we know the value of g, small letter g, that is 9.8 meter per second square. And by applying all these values in the equation F equals mg, we will get the value 9.8 Newton. That means 1 kilogram weight equals 9.8 Newton. Kilogram weight is another unit of force. Children, you know how the value of g on earth changes from place to place? Let's see. A body experiences maximum weight at poles on the earth. The reason is here the radius is minimum, that means less, and the body experiences minimum weight at equator. At equator, the radius is maximum, and at the center of the earth, the weight of the body is 0. Here, the value of g, that means the acceleration due to gravity, is 0. Next one, free fall and weightlessness. When a body is allowed to fall from a certain height, it falls to the earth due to the force of gravity. This is free fall. If it is said to be called free fall, it must fall down due to gravity alone without air resistance. Usually, we do not consider air resistance at all as it is comparatively small. Children, did you experience a ride on a giant wheel? The person sitting inside a giant wheel experiences loss of weight on the descent. So, it is due to the influence by gravitational force. When we are standing on an electronic platform balance, we are exerting a force on the balance. The reading on the balance is the force exerted by it on us. This is reaction force. This is the reason for the spring balance reading as well. Won't the reading of the balance be 0 if it is allowed to fall freely? Let's see. Since the balance and we are undergoing free fall, the balance cannot exert a reaction force. That is why weightlessness is experienced. It is the reaction from the surface that is measured as weight. So students, that's about the chapter. So study well. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.